Welcome to another movie. So this time I'm making a quite special movie because it's a request from some of my friends. They wanted to see how the Hexapod look like now and how it's working. This is a Hexapod that I'm building. I will post a link to the project on Thingiverse because there is a guy that designed this Hexapod. I did only fix these two parts on each leg because there was some problem, and design new head for it because I did not like the two giant LED that he designed, and that's the most for now that I did change in this project. I can tell you it is a really great design. It's really not bad. It's quite easy to print. That guy doesn't work on this anymore because he abandoned this project, so that's not fully fixed. The code is have some still problems you need to change, but you just need to read the comments, and there you can find what's the problem. So the most important thing is that the standard Hexapod is really giant. It's much bigger than this one because I'm using the 9-gram servos, and normal Hexapod use the full-size servos and a metal frame, and that is why real Hexapod, the beta Hexapod, are so expensive because of the metal parts and much stronger servos. So that's why I was interested in this project, because it's much more cheaper than a bigger one, and I always wanted to have a Hexapod because of the complexity of all the legs, how it's moving, how it's everything working together, and that's why I always wanted one. I really like the walking machines, all the like I have that with the doll head and the small robot. But I always wanted to have something like this. So in project like this, that I found out that the most important thing is to have correct libraries for the code, because what it's all about, code that it's programmed in this processor is using files called libraries. There are files that let the processor to communicate with the servo controller and with the PS2 controller. And if you have wrong libraries, this will not work. And I did find out after a month of working with this. I did order new servo controller, and this one worked. Second part is you need to have a Torobot servo controller. I did buy first some other servo controller that also may be working, but this project is designed for the Torobot, and Torobot controller worked great. Another thing, I'm using the Ultraback, I think it's Ultraback Ubic. It's a 3 amp with the 5 amp peak. You need to have two Ubics because there are two power supplies. One is for the servos, one is for the electronic, and 3 amps is not enough. You will see on when I turn it on, it will shake like crazy, and when I increase the speed, it will start to fall down because servos are not able to keep the power on the on that movement. So that's the most important thing. For now I'm using 3 amps, but I did order one with the 20 amps, and that will replace this one because this one is for the servos. The second one will will stay as is, because there is a 3 amps is enough for the servo controller, for the Arduino and for the PS2. And I have another tiny processor behind the head. That one is powering the eyes in the head. There are LEDs, and it's the head is blinking like similar to real one. Of course, the spiders doesn't blink. I think so, they doesn't blink, but it is blinking and it's random, so there's no program that's controlling how it's blinking, because I set it to blink in a random time and random eye, so processor just pick a random eye and pick random time between the blinking. It's quite easy. I program in Bascom. I always work with the Bascom codes, and that's quite easy. So basically that's all. It's not too expensive. It's much more less expensive than the giant Hexapod. It is quite frustrating when you turn it on and nothing works or something like that, so you need to have time, read the comments and stuff like that. But if you get it to work, it's really amazing. It's impressive how it's working. To control it, you have a PS2 controller. Mostly you just work with this one, forward, backward, straight right, straight left, and turning to the sides. This one will lift up and lift down the Hexapod in 3 positions. This one lifting the Hexapod slowly, this one changing the speed. These 2 buttons changing from modes, from leaning to the sides and moving without changing the position. Select, changing the modes. I think there's 4 walking modes. Each time you're changing mode and testing it, you need to wait for the legs to stop resetting the position and then switch the select. These 2, I think they changed the direction of the length of the legs when it's walking, how far the legs will reach. And the second one I really doesn't remember. Also, I cannot still turn on the single leg mode where you can control the legs. I have a problem with that. Don't know if the button is not working or what's the problem. This one is turning, if I remember, balance mode, but I also did not play with that because I need to for now use the cables, and that's quite annoying because it is quite fast on some modes. And the X also, I don't have no idea what it's do, because there are many controls of it. Start is just turning on the motors and lifting a little bit a quad. Okay, so I will connect it to my power supply. I'm supplying with the 20 volts and 6 amp, but apparently these 2 bags cannot supply so much power, and John will Hexapod, will shake the legs, but remember, it's not finished project. I'm still missing the rear part. It will be a special part on the rear. Also, I finally found out what this hole is about. It's for holding this processor in the upper direction with the socket for the USB in here, and that took me quite a while because I did not know what this part is all about. It is a quite mess with the cables also under the robot, but I will work on that after I finish mostly. Also, there will be a fur on it. I'm planning to buy a sheet of fur and put it on this robot to make it look more like a spider. So for people with arachnophobia, it will be very frightening. So when I take it to my work, because some of the people wanted to see it, I will need to know if there are people with the arachnophobia, and just keep it away from them, just not to make any panic. I like to make scary machines, but I don't want to make any problems, any injuries to people with the arachnophobia. That's why I keep it away from those people. Okay, so let me connect everything, let me set it up, and I will show you how this works. Okay, so I have connected the power supply. It's not on yet. Let me turn on the controller. Power supply, as you can hear, there was a beep. Now when I hit the start button, now the shaking of the legs is because of the lack of the power, because these two BCs cannot power so many servos in one time. Now the walking, I did forget to show you when I turn it off. Watch the eyes on the front. Now the eyes will blink in a random time and random eye. That's quite that's great because it's quite annoying to program, and I'm happy then of the results. If someone will like it, I can upload the code for the eyes. Again, let's turn it on. This leg is really having a hard time with this power supply. Now this is the normal mode that it's working now. Oh, sorry. And powered, because I can lift the Hexapod up. Now when I hit the select button, this is the second mode. Need to wait for the legs to reset. Select third mode. Select fourth mode. Come on. Fifth mode. I think that's the first one, but I'm not sure about it. The sixth mode. Oh, that's the sixth mode. You may see that it fall down because of the power. Select. I think that's the first one. So there, most likely, let me reset it like this. A little too fast. The lifting is very fast, so and rotating to the sides and back to the walking mode. And the top one is leaning, I don't know, it's moving like this. Oh, a little too fast. also lifting and turning like this. So I know the triangle is moving up and down. If I remember, the square in here is changing to the balance mode. It's more stable work as they describe it. I really don't like this work. Like this one much more. And I don't know what this X is doing. I still have no idea. Also the round button doesn't it should lift one of the legs up, and that should allow me to control only one leg, but I have no idea why this one doesn't work. Maybe this button is damaged on this machine. And here is the lifting. As you may see already, I can lift it, put it down and walk like this. Now this the right and left changing the speed, so if I speed it up, the servo will start to fall down. Not yet. Let's speed it a little more. Yes, you can see now. It is because the S-back U-back is really too weak for this project, and to have much faster one. And this is really all that I have. I have a cover for the button still to cover all the cables. I need to also think about the battery, if I want to have this mount on the top, or just put it on the bottom part with the cables. So that's all I need to think. Also, the squeaky sound you can hear is because the legs are sliding on the desk, and so I order a buttons for the legs, buttons from the flashlights that will be on the legs to keep it not from sliding on the surface. Let's know if I will not turn it off by mistake. It's really not hard to build this, but it's really impressive how it's working and how everything works together. It's a Phoenix code, if someone want to know, and that's the most advanced, most functional code that you can find for a Hexapod, and that works quite fine. But this one is modified because Phoenix code work with the original board and not with this board. Also work with a special controller, XB if I remember, and not with a PS2 controller. That's why it's needing a libraries to allow everything to communicate together. Now I will wait for the rubber parts for the legs. I need to wait for the rear part and think about where to put battery and everything, and wait for the new power supply, and it will be ready to scare some people. So that's all. Let me turn it down and not. So that's all. If someone want to build it, I will put the links in the description to the project. There are also in the comments these two files that I designed for this and that I fixed for this machine. In future I will post this head, but there is a small problem because these two LEDs are quite far into the head, but because they are much brighter I will not do anything with that, also because the eyes are far to the front. So that's all. If you are interested in the finished products, you may just keep looking on my channel. I will post it also on the Facebook when I finish it and make movie to show it in the field outside. So that's all for now.